Happy Monday morning, everybody. It's Kristen here with Bariatric Mindset, and I wanted to pop in so that we could talk about your internal dialogue, your self-talk. So sometimes individuals after surgery can kind of get really tough on themselves, and a lot of times it's not good enough. Um, a lot of negative vibes, a lot of negative talk. And what I wanted to do is kind of educate you guys on that. First of all of us have this, but that how we can shift that self-talk and to talk a little bit about what it means, how to shift it, and how to improve it. So how to be your own inner cheerleader instead of being your own mean girl or mean guy inside your head. So first of all, I wanted to kind of share that the internal dialogue that you have is typically automatic. So we kind in the therapy world, we call it, well, we can call it a couple different things: cognitive distortions or negative cyclical self-talk. But a lot of times we just call it self-talk. And so there are things that will happen, and I will hear people say it throughout the day. Like you'll be doing something and you're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so stupid. Why did I do that? Why did I grab the butter? I meant to grab the yogurt," or whatever it is. So a lot of times we can say these things out loud, but sometimes we're saying things inside of our head like, "Oh, why did I go to that meeting room? Gosh, I'm such an idiot." And so these may be things that you say to yourself inside your head, and sometimes you may say it out loud. And the more that you say those things to yourself, you're kind of imprinting into your brain, into your patterns, like what you're thinking about yourself. And then those become your core beliefs. So from the viewpoint of neuro linguistic programming, and I know that's a big word, what we say about ourselves and what we say in terms of our beliefs are like programmed into our brain. So those are the neuro pathways that kind of are like little roadmaps inside our brain. So similarly, when you get up in the morning, there are certain behaviors, there's certain things that you do, there's certain things that you may reach for, right? So those are what we might call programmed thoughts, programmed behaviors. So if your automatic programmed behavior or automatic programmed thought about yourself is negative, then it's going to continue to be negative. And so that I'm an idiot, I'm so stupid, gosh, I'm such a fat ass, whatever it is that you tell yourself is just going to kind of continue to be pervasive. And so the first step is kind of to watch this automatic talk or this automatic self-talk, and to see where you may be using not negative self-talk and how you refer to yourself. And you're allowed to mess up. Like, we're humans, we do mess up. And so do we want to improve from messing up? Yeah. I mean, I get that. I do too. So, but when you're continually berating yourself, it's not encouraging. And it's certainly not what you would want your friend to say to you. However, that internal dialogue, that internal self-talk is kind of like your, I don't know if I want to say your baseline, but it's kind of like, the messaging system within your head. So if you're constantly saying to yourself, "Man, I'll never reach that goal. Gosh, I'm such an idiot. How could I possibly do that?" Like, is that encouraging? Is that positive? Is that, first of all, that's not somebody that I would want to be friends with, and I'm sure that that's not somebody that you'd want to be friends with. However, it's you inside your own head. It's important to also know that we don't have a filter inside of our own heads, and whereas there are things that we would not say to a friend that could be harsh or hurtful. You're such an idiot. So there are things that we say in sarcasm, and even that can come off. We're programming that negative self-talk. So it's important that we shift the self-talk to be more positive and more encouraging within our own heads, that we can increase not only the believability of the things that we want to believe, but also to start taking action on certain thoughts and behaviors because now we believe them. So if you are, for example, believing like, "I'm an idiot," well, I hope you don't, but if you did, then there are certain things that you wouldn't even try because the self-doubt inside your head is thick. It is thick. It is rampant. It's kind of like a disease up in there, because if that's something that you're like, oh God, I could never do that, you won't even try certain things. So this is another reason to change the dialogue and to be encouraging of yourself, is because you want to change the dynamic of what you're saying to yourself inside your head. I hope this makes sense. So for all of the negative stuff, it's not that you're going to be able to get rid of it like that, because if you've been talking to yourself about yourself inside your own head like this for years, it is likely that you're not going to be able to turn it off like a light switch. However, the good news is that in time you will be able to change it. So what's important is that you practice the awareness. None of us are able to monitor our thoughts 24/7 because we think something like 10,000, a million thoughts a day. So a lot of times we don't even know that, we're not even consciously aware that we're thinking certain things. So it's important to recognize that, again, you're not going to be able to be self-monitoring your brain 24/7. However, if you kind of look back on your day, or you have a little sticky note that you can put on your computer that says, what am I saying to myself? What's my internal dialogue? Then you'll check on that and you'll be like, oh, okay, that's a clue. So if you were to check in a couple times a day, whether it's in a staff meeting or on your way to work or when you're eating lunch, you'll start to know what you're thinking and feeling and saying about yourself. And a lot of times the inner critic, right, that person inside your head, which is you, but is a lot harsher on you than anybody else. So one of the things I want you to maybe take a look at is, what are you saying to yourself? So you may be at lunch and you may be like, okay, don't eat that additional cucumber. You don't need it, but I really want it. And your inner negative critic might be like, do you really need it? Like, you're such a fat ass. That's what got you into this in the first place. And believe me, this is not just something that I might have said to myself in the past, but I have clients and colleagues and other people that, these are actual thoughts of what people say to themselves. And I'm sure that you probably know what, you can imagine what you say to yourself. And so instead of saying something like that, you can kind of take your power back in that minute and go, okay, this is not encouraging. This is not helpful. This is not what I want to imprint into my brain. What do I need to say to myself? How can I change the dialogue? How can I shift it so that I'm kinder, that I'm more loving, that I'm more compassionate, right? So any of you guys that know me know that I kind of follow Dr. Kristen Neff's research. She does compassion studies. And so part of this work is about being more compassionate with yourself. It's not about letting yourself off the hook. It's not about self-indulgence, and it's not about letting yourself get away with anything. It is literally about practicing kindness inside your own head, practicing encouragement, practicing self-love inside your own head. So, and changing the dialogue, changing the talk. So what you can do is, whenever you notice yourself, oh, I'm an idiot. Oh, I can't believe I did that. Okay, wait a second. Take a step back, take a deep breath in. Wow, that situation, right? Not yourself, but the situation, that situation was rough. Like, that was tough for me. Acknowledge how you were feeling. And then, this is how I can do this better. This is how I acknowledge I may not have met my own expectations. And what can I do about it? What can I do differently next time? How can I be aware? Okay, right? So instead of building up the negative self-talk, you can have encouraging self-talk that helps you redirect the thought processes. And then you can be like, wow, I'm really awesome because I'm learning. I'm really awesome because I'm growing. And so that helps you understand and get out of the path of the negative critic, and also on the direction for your own personal growth, your mindset growth, and really being happy inside your own head and inside your own life. Because if you're constantly beating yourself down, I mean, do you want to hang out with somebody who's an idiot? Do you want to hang out with somebody? And by the way, you're not. But when you believe those things inside your own head, what you do is you kind of set yourself up to not be in situations where you're able to receive certain things like promotions or other things, because you honestly believe that you're not good enough, because you honestly have self-doubt. And how was that created? That was created through your own negative dialogue, through your own self-talk. So what I want you guys to do, your assignment, because I love giving assignments, is to practice the inner dialogue. Practice what you're saying inside your head. Be aware of what you're saying inside your head and practice the new dialogue. Practice the new, encouraging, helpful, compassionate, kind dialogue. And if you're like, Kristen, well, I don't know what to say to myself, what you could say is, what would you say to your best friend if he or she were going through this situation? How could you be encouraging to that person? And a lot of times, by you seeing it from a perspective outside yourself, you can shift easier that way. So step 1, practice the awareness. What are you saying to yourself? Step 2, flip it, switch it, be more encouraging, be more self-compassionate. 3, start talking to yourself that way. Step 4, practice that on a daily basis. Practice that on a daily basis. And if you need step 5, maybe create some affirmations that will help you, that are grounded in reality of who you are. Some affirmations to help you kind of rewire your brain to create that believability that I am good enough, I am awesome, I am amazing, I am smart, and those types of things that you know about yourself. But if you're constantly dissing yourself and talking smack, then how are you really going to believe the good things when they come along? So sometimes what you need are evidence-based or reality-based things that kind of back up that affirmation. So it could be, I'm awesome because I've been holding a job for X many years. I am awesome because I have a degree. Whatever you believe, I'm not here to put anybody's beliefs, but whatever it is, back it up with some evidence of why you feel you are this way. And then I think that's going to help you you could say, I'm awesome because I'm an amazing dog mom. Whatever you want to say that helps you to feel like that there's value there. And so we've got to change that negative, again, that negative self-talk inside your head. So I hope that this has been helpful. Use these steps to shift and to change the negative self-talk to more positive self-talk that's encouraging, to get you moving forward so that you can learn and grow into the person that you want to become. Just remember, for added support, we have our group on Facebook, Bariatric Mindset Mavens. Check us out there. Don't forget to subscribe, and please like this video if you found it useful or helpful. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll be sure to get back to you. I hope that you have a great week, and I will see you next Monday. Bye.